They're coming to America. They're coming to America. They're coming to America. Wouldn't that be great if I could just turn into a werewolf right now? I'm so frustrated with reality.
Molson Canadian. What beer's all about. Presents Molson Canadian Comedy Relief.
Let's see if it's over here. Where's my luggage?
Check in, man. Where were you guys at the airport?
I'm in the lineup again. Where's everybody?
I don't know. What are we doing here?
You gotta get examined or something. I gotta leave a deposit.
Jim Carrey, friend to man and beast. Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
My family still lives out in the suburbs of Toronto, an area called Scarborough, which is very flat and has a lot of donut stores and factory carpet outlets.
I'm surprised it's not here yet. We've been here a half Yeah.
I say we made it.
Yeah.
Tired of conventional wagons that sacrifice performance in favor of practicality? Then introduce yourself to a world-class touring wagon with more than enough room for both. The all-new, totally redesigned Escort wagon. Were you expecting something else? Now with 5.9% financing, it's even less conventional.
And Tracy, no boys.
Yes, Mrs. Wendell.
I like the way you make me laugh. I like the funny things you do. You got a style of your own.
The tickets.
The tickets. The tickets. And Tracy, scrape the cheese off the ceiling.
I like this fighting you.
What are we doing here at 1:30 in the morning? It's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm just here, like, yelling in the room so that people can go, honey, there's a Jew in the hotel. Oh, my God, there seems to be some kind of manic Jew in the hotel.
You have a flip through the radio, you hear a classical station. Coming up next, Beethoven's Second Symphony, Opus 36. I think there's some English professor with the pipe sitting at home going, all right!
Let's get the corner of the building, sir. DJ scorecard program here.
Please help me welcome Mr. Jimmy Walker. Jimmy.
I packed 2 shirts, one black shirt and another black shirt, and a pair of black pants I can roll up, and then I shake out one shirt. I only use one shirt, but I have two. I don't know why I do that. I shake it out in the shower, and that's my thing for the week.
And you ever notice about doctors? They have 4 or 5 diplomas hanging on the wall. You have never read any one of those diplomas. I finally read my doctor's diploma. It said, you may already be a winner.
And then if it's cold, I'll bring one pink sweater. That's it. I'm done.
This is Brother Jake Edwards, and if you're heading down Young Street tonight, take a number. Traffic's backed up to the waterfront.
I pack everything under the sun on the theory that I'll work it out when I get there. But I've worked it out to where my hands hardly ever touch my luggage from the time I leave till the time I get back. That's a prick. I got valet guys in my house that come up to the house and they take the luggage down. Then I got a guy that comes with a car and he puts the luggage in the car. Then I get to the airport and there's a guy with a hat who puts the luggage on the plane. Then I get off and I call another guy. He puts the luggage in that car. Then I get to the hotel and there's a bell guy and he takes the luggage upstairs. And around showtime, I have another guy that comes out and takes out my shirts and puts them on me. And so it isn't really until really late at night that I actually do touch any of my clothes or any of my belongings.
Well, it's just gadgets, you know? See, that's one of those things that guys love gadgets, man. You give a guy a remote control hooked up to cable TV, this is a position of power no man alive can turn down. Look at this, babe. Watch 82 shows at one time. Look at that, 82 shows. Will you just leave it on one show? Write down the scores that go by. Help me out here, will you, babe?
We used to have some tough guys who ran the places. One boss used to stare at me good night. The check room girl's name was Rocco. One guy said, I bet you $10 you're dead. I was afraid to bet him.
Which way to New Jersey?
Okay,
That's
which
what we
way
want
to
to
New
know.
Jersey?
They go out this way.
Oh, we're coming right to our boat.
Hey, where's Detroit for people?
When they advertise Canada, they go, come to Canada, you probably don't know anyone here. It's a maple syrup country. You get off the plane, they go, you have a hotel around here? No, would you like some maple syrup? No, I need a place to stay. Well, what sort of maple syrup do you want? Do you want a jar of maple syrup? Do you want a vat of maple syrup? Do you want a little woman you squeeze her and it squirts out of her head? Just tell us how you want your maple syrup.
I don't know. I don't really have much to say about Guilford. Is it Guilford? Guilford Godfrey? Just keep him away from me, man.
Years ago, Canadians were walking through the forest. They saw a tree with disgusting brown goo dripping down the side of it. They said, there's disgusting brown goo dripping down the side of that tree. Let's eat it! And let's make other people eat it! We'll be a nation of disgusting brown goo eaters!
Every once in a while, I think about jumping off a balcony, and then I look at Gilbert and I go, well, he's still alive.
Yeah, if he's resisted a big jump, if he sees some hope out here, there's no reason for me to cut the show off.
I don't know about you, but for years I've been eating pancakes going, know what this stuff needs? Something scraped off the side of a tree. Well, I'm a waffle man myself. Maybe we could pry something off the side of a building.
Only L. Ron Hubbard can help you now. Run! Run to him! Proclaim your savior, L. Ron Hubbard!
They're not getting into it, man. They're not getting into the improv.
I've been in a lot of hotels, but I tell you, this is a great one. This is a great one, because this one has a key to the door. I've been in some that's just kind of like, well, just go up there and kick on it real hard right around the lock area. It should open.
I heard you were coming in 225, right?
Great.
So I figured I might as
Hello,
well.
Dave Wilson.
Yeah, I know.
Sammy
Hi,
Tabb.
how are you?
Sure. This is my pal Sammy Tabb for 50 years.
Yeah.
You're on the air. Save your words.
Say hello.
Yeah.
It's nice to be with Henny Youngman again. It's been a long time.
He's in the hat business. He sells the hats to all the celebrities. And you better put that hat back in stock.
I will, on your head.
Yeah. That's a nice hat. Let me see that.
You like that?
Can I buy that?
Yeah, I've seen nicer lids on garbage cans.
He's not normal.
No,
Have you
I
had your
just
life-
got here. It's nice to be here,
If you had
really.
your life to live over again, don't do it.
No, I won't. But if I had my life to live over again, I'd live over a saloon.
Dana Ross, I saw her in concert, who I normally love, but she's the whole show. She's like, come on, reach out and touch. Everybody sing. Somebody's hand. Come on, everybody sing. It's like, for 35 bucks, you sing, Diana.
The traditional putting of the underwear in the drawer, which has never been filmed before. I have two types of, these are for jeans, these are the skivvies for jeans, and then of course the baggy or boxer shorts for the suits. I find that's the most comfortable way to perform when you're comfortable. That's the best way to perform.
Life was about the place when we tried to hold the ground, kill us off and make us clowns.
I'm just like a working, grinding road, middle of the pack comic. I'm not a star. I'm a journeyman guy, but I work all the time. You know, there's always room for a journeyman. Everybody can't be Leno. Everybody can't be Seinfeld. He's here like I'm getting into a thing with a car. It's nothing. This is not my car. It's a repo. It's a repo. I got it from one of Eddie Murphy's bodyguards. It's not one of mine.
Honey, quick, call the cops. There's a Jew loose in the hotel. Yes? You can superimpose a cigarette later, can't you? Yes.
At Nabob, choosing our coffee beans very carefully means superb coffee flavor and irresistible aroma. It's inescapable. Nabob flavor and aroma always bring them back.
In Canada, women and men are equals and constantly compete to gain some advantage, to get the upper hand and the better position. Molson Canadian, what beer's all about.
We'll see you there.
Just follow me. I'll lead you. I'll lead the way.
And you know where to go.
Yeah, I know where to go.
I love auto racing.
Come on, Al. Go, little Al. Turn the wheel in the direction of the skid, mister.
I do it all the time. It's how I make money. It's how I make my cash.
The teacher, and he was literature, wanted us to do a scene from Midsummer Night's Dream.
All right, let's get him.
Somebody tacked up a little doorway. And I came out, and I'd never seen the doorway before, and I tripped over it and fell flat on my face and got a huge laugh. And it made me mad, because they were laughing at my discomfiture.
Yeah, I want in now. Get in. I really do. I really want in now. Jimmy, that was one of the
On my exit, I forgot about the doorway again, and I went out and fell flat on my face again and got an enormous laugh. And I said, there's something to this that's worth doing.
Check it out. Crank that sucker out. Come on, let's rock and roll. Listen up, people, no fooling around. I'm glad that you can make it here to check out my sound. I don't do drugs, I go to school every day. Sit back, relax, and watch me play.
My father, he's an attorney, actually. Gosh, he was just such an inspiration to me. Always a pal.
Everybody asks, man, how does rap work? It ain't so hard, you jump on stage, you act like a jerk. You talk about anything, keep the rhymes cooking. Talk about girls or food that's finger licking.
He just had a sense of humor about everything, too. He got shot once. He had a crazy client that nailed him 3 places, in the arm, in the stomach, and in the leg.
And he likes to do a thing he calls a white boy rap. White boy! Hey, white boy! Where's the white boy? Come on, white boy!
He got shot. He leaned against the building. Somebody saw us. That's Joe Piscopo down there. Ran down, and they said, "Joe, to my father, is there anything we can do?" And he handed him the guy his briefcase and said, "You can cancel all my cases for tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to make it." You got to rehearse, you know.
Toronto, Ontario. It's my home, and I love it. But underneath. A little indie race, all its own.
I'd love to know what this guy's doing, because to me, he was like my first encounter with the really creative person. And he was in grade 3, and we had this thing where it was a blank piece of paper, and it had about 20 things that we had to draw on the piece of paper. It was like, you know, a little test. And we had to draw a house, a chimney, smoke coming out of trees, a fence, a sidewalk, flowers, a dog, and a bumblebee. This kid drew everything but the bumblebee, and then he put down, "Sorry, bee couldn't make it." I died. I thought this kid was the most, grade 3 to be that hip. Too hip. I was sitting there going, "Wow, this guy's gonna be so funny. He's gonna be so creative," and they gave him the strap for that.
Let's talk a little bit about safety, okay, in racing. You notice the tires here. Can we get a shot of those? No tread on that at all. Those will have to be replaced. When you're running in Canada, man, you need those treads. Just in case you hit one of those snowbanks, and you just spin out. Woo!
I heard George Carlin's Class Clown, and I said, and my brother brought it in. My brother had it in a paper bag with like he had something else in the bag, because they had the disclaimer on it that it was some language were offensive. If my mom saw it, she'd flip, right? So he brought that in, and he said, "You got to hear this, Timmy. It's really great." So we put it in, and we listened to it. We put the volume really low. I'm sure every comics does as a kid. Put the volume down really low, and we listened to it.
Stand on line at the bank for a really long time. One of those new kind of lines they have at the bank. The common feeder line. Used to be every teller had his own line. Not anymore. Now you think you're in Disneyland.
See how they're cut low to the ground, to keep the wind pushing the car to the road, man. Everything is designed for safety in this car. But you know what? A monster truck could take it. Those things, the big wheels and everything, they just make mincemeat out of this thing, man. I'd love to see it, man. Come in here with a monster truck, wipe them all out.
Stand on line a long time. And when you finally get up to the window, just ask for a change of a nickel.
I forget what grade it was now. It was like grade 5 or something like that. And Mark Schultz, this guy with horn-rimmed glasses and the funniest teeth you've ever seen. They just went, these teeth were just like, it's like looking at a lamprey eel, he would get down on the floor in the middle of class and just be like traveling underneath the desks in his own subterranean world, you know? Like, and everybody knew when he'd go down, he's like, Mark is going down. You know, and he'd disappear for a while, and then finally the teacher would go, get out of the hallway right now. We'd be sitting there just waiting, you know, and then we'd look at the door, and then Mark Schultz's face, sure enough, would be just pressed up against the door like some thing cleaning the fish tank, you know? He really keeps the tank clean, doesn't he? You know, he would just like all over the glass and stuff, and everybody just start cracking. Honest to God, he'd be doing the length of the hallway just like this, going like this, like he was some kind of snow shovel or something, and just go like run the length of the hallway, just knocking all the boots over and stuff like that, and all the kids would be looking out there, go Mark, go, like that. He was our hero, you know, because he had no rules, you know, he had nothing to hold him back, and you love to look at guys like that, you know. I'd love to find out where Mark Schultz is today. You know, I'm sure he's incarcerated. I'm sure of it. He's got to be. Mark, if you're out there, if you're a free man, it's not for long.
No. No. No way.
One bite.
No.
Please?
No, you do this every time. You want yours too fast and you want some of mine. No. Really?
The only thing as good as your crispy crunch is someone else's.
Take half.
A stranger has found her.
How far back are you?
1948.
Sounds to me like she had a past life experience.
Roman? Somebody help me!
It's okay. The more she trusts him, the more she fears him to be the man who ended her life more than 40 years ago.
He was gonna kill me.
I'm not Roman. This is all far from over. Dead Again. Starts Friday, August 23rd at theaters everywhere.
Molson Canadian. What beer's all about. Presents Molson Canadian Comedy Relief.
I'll try to go to sleep, and you please, just interview my subconscious mind. Okay.
Jim, why did you come back to Toronto for the festival?
I don't want to do it, Mommy. I don't want to do it. It pinches. It pinches.
Wow. I have about 5,000 autographs. About 5,000, and quite a few are comedians.
A hooker walked up to me. Said, "I'll do anything you want for $50. I said, "Paint my house."
Yeah, I'm kind of still new to this. I've only been on the show for a year and a half, and seeing people like Henny Youngman and Don Rickles, who I love, actually. One of my favorite movies is Kelly's Heroes, so I'm really excited to meet him.
You know the thing I love about being in TO? People are so great here because people are so friendly. They just kind of walk up to you and talk to you like they know you. Had a guy walk up to me outside and says, Jim, how come black people don't have tattoos? I said, you ever seen skywriting at night?
I don't know the words to People's City. Do you know the words to People's City, man? Do you mind if I call you man? Because I'll never remember your name.
I mean, name one, Eddie Murphy, John Candy, Jay Leno, George Carlin.
Oh, you'll see a bunch of familiar faces and really cool places in Toronto, in People's City.
No, I'm nobody. I got nothing. I'm Bupkis. I'm nothing. This is Jim Carrey. This is a star. Come on. He works for the colored people, but he does a great job. This is Jim Carrey.
Remember the Duck Factory? If I had one person to work with, I don't know, the guy who was in the grassy knoll. I think I'd like to work with him. Because, you know, Oswald gets all the credit, he gets all the fame and glory, and the guy in the grassy knoll, I'm sure, spent the rest of his life going, you know, what about me? What about me? Me nothing. I didn't even make it in the picture. This guy, he gets everything, and me, I'm there in the grassy knoll. I knew I shouldn't have stood there. I should have stood in a well-lit area, and then I could have been seen.
And I have had some wonderful times in this town. I'll never forget, I met a wonderful doctor here, Dr. Welser. Gave a guy 6 months to live, couldn't pay his bill, gave him another 6 months. This lady walks into the doctor's office. Doctor, I can't hold my water. What'll I do? He says, get off my rug. I said, Doc, my foot hurts. What'll I do for it? He said, limp. Fellow walks into a psychiatrist. He says, nobody talks to me. He says, next. Another fellow walks into a psychiatrist. He says, you're crazy. He says, I want a second opinion. You're ugly, too.
If you want to be anonymous, if you just want to have a nice dinner with you and your wife, you have it at home. You don't go to Spago's, you know. What are these cameras doing here? Will you, come on, will you stop? Like, please.
Women on first dates never order a lot of food. First date, you're not going to sit there and look like Arnold Ziffel in front of the guy. First date, you're not going to sit there, oh, not finishing yours, dear?
Can I spell that? Well, I recognize you. What?
Yes, you do.
You're the guy that does all
America's
this stuff?
Most Wanted.
Do you do all this stuff?
America's Most Wanted.
No?
Yeah. Remember him? Yeah, I was the guy that married 3 women and was just traveling around.
No, I thought you were the one who...
No, remember New Kids on the Block?
No way.
Yeah, I'm the lead singer.
Yeah.
Jordan.
For posterity, it'll be here.
The hippest thing I ever had happen, I was in Vegas. I was in a shopping market, right? And I'm walking there with my shopping cart, and a guy's looking at me, right? He's kind of like says, yeah, maybe it could be him, but he's going to be cool. So the guy just pushes by, and I've never seen the guy before, and he just walks by and says, yo, Jay, how you doing? And just keeps walking like, oh, hey, Bob, wait a minute, let me talk with him.
I met we're Yankovic and Martin Mull and Dave Thomas, all kinds of other ones. Too numerous to mention.
I was a hat maker for the Pope. Those big hats he wears, he used to wear like just baseball caps. And he'd walk out on the balcony and people would think he'd look like a jerk. And I'd say, you know, you're going out with those hats that say Yankees on it. And I mean, you really look like an idiot. Wear a big hat, a really big hat. And he said, is that really gonna work? And I said, oh yeah, it will.
Get a close up of this autograph. TV show. Woodbury's even here.
You want to sign my menu?
Played the bartender.
Why do Jewish divorces cost so much? They're worth it. Why do Jewish guys die before their wives? They want to. Why Why do Jewish women only make love in the dark? They don't want to see their husbands enjoying themselves.
Could I have your autograph, please?
Sure. Again, I have not met this person. I don't know who they are.
Make it to Florence?
Florence.
I spent all kinds of time looking for a picture of him. And finally, I found something in this magazine called Now. So I got it photocopied and I got him sign that.
When I got standing in line, this lady came up and she was asking people who wanted them, so I went to see the dog and she just gave the dog to me, just like that.
Take my wife, please.
Anyway, my wife is not a frivolous woman, but she had taken the paper towels out I just bought. Dead serious, she's holding them at me. She's going, Richie, from now on, don't get bounty, get job squad. Now you guys know I'm not gonna ask her why, because there's an hour I don't want to waste.
I get it all day long. People holler it at me. Take my sister, please. Take my brother. Take somebody.
One guy I'll probably never meet, he's my all-time favorite comedian, John Belushi.
Thank you. That's what's next to Will and the grandmother. You know, the grandmother comes up, I want one too. And what is your name?
Enjoy extra sugar-free gum.
You get extra flavor, extra fun in extra sugar-free gum.
The long-lasting sugar-free gum is extra with NutraSweet for extra refreshing flavor that lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra flavor for that extra long flight. Extra flavor for that extra long night. When you're chewing extra, the extra fresh flavor lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra lasts extra long.
So it seemed to me that what I was doing, I keep doing like this, and it's because I had like my mother's hamburgers tonight. I was at my mother's house, and they're like 99.9% fat and 1% beef. So I'm just like enjoying them again all over. Anyway.
What did Joe Piscopo say?
Well, he referred to you tonight as the genius in this whole business.
And was he wrong?
Elmer Fudd in Apocalypse Now. Oh, the horror. I killed the widow Vietnamese.
Who else said this? Who else? Nipsey Russell said it. I think he's a genius.
So, you know, some guys you see a whole half hour, boy, they got 4 minutes that are just terrific. I say, oh, that was great. Oh, boy, I wish I could have thought of that. Anytime I hear something that I wish I had thought of, I know I've been entertained.
If you don't have the people you do that are in the same business going, wow, that was really great, you know, that there's something missing there, you know?
Next time you're in the supermarket, get a shopping cart and fill it to the top. I mean a huge mound of groceries in your shopping cart, and then go up to the line and look for somebody with one item and ask them if you can get ahead of them. Do you mind? I'm in a hurry. This one is my current favorite. Go into a dry cleaner's and ask the man if he can remove the stains from one pair of pants and put them in another pair of pants.
I'd advise a new guy to go out to California where you have a lot of good writers out there and try to find a guy who'll write some jokes for you and routines that are clean. Spend some money on material. Invest in your business.
It's 12 noon, Q107 time, and you're listening to Brother Jake Edwards. It's a sizzler out there in the inner city today. 101 in the shade.
No, I get a little car sick sometimes.
Oh, hey. I went out and watched it for a while because I hadn't seen stand-up in a few years, and And then I tried it for about a month, really concentrated for about 2 weeks, and then figured if it required any more effort than that, it wasn't worth it.
Alan Thicke's an institution in Canada. Did you know that? Did you know that?
We're all here to challenge each other, and when I see a comic that's really great, when I saw George Carlin last night, I went, wow, you know, it made me want to go back and write something.
One day I'd like to see Alan Thicke like challenge his dramatic skills and like play a part, like, you know, play the pawn broker or something. You know, like play a killer in a movie. I'd want to see Alan Thicke play Charles Manson in a movie. Let's go kill a group of people.
This ever happen to you? You ever go to see a group from the 60s, they're not the originals? This always happens to me. I went to see the Temptations. The guys were white.
Are we going to be driving much longer?
Not much longer.
We got to get back to the Danforth. Man, can you know? God.
You know, that thin line between preaching and politics and comedy is that punchline. So sometimes when you have an idea that you want to say something well, for example, the environmental issue, right? You have to find a punchline before you can get that thought across.
I'm just here for that whole Friends of the Earth thing. And at this point in the evening, I'm about ready to kill a seal. Like early on, I was a friend of the earth. Now I'd just like to club a baby seal. In fact, let's shove styrofoam down a baby seal's throat and then spray it with hairspray. Let's go up in a rocket ship and just destroy the ozone layer up close. Let's throw baby seals through the ozone layer. Let's shove styrofoam down their throats, have them choked to death, cover them with hairspray, and catapult them through the ozone layer.
Not only is it a joke and it gets a laugh, but it has a point to it.
And then get a sandwich.
I think you better take the hospital bed. Right now? I'm starting to get I'm serious too. I'm starting to freak out and everything.
I'm gonna go over and see my people on this side of the room, see how they doing. Hi, how are you? Which one's yours? Both of these, and who's this? Just one over here doesn't know who she is. And look at are these yours too? You're just popping them out like a popcorn machine.
They like it, the audience, when you touch those things that they don't want to have touched with some intelligence. If you have a little logic in it, or a thread that seems to have a little deeper meaning, or something, just there's some basis to it. There's some support for it. It's not just a joke. Then they'll let you out into that territory, and they'll so to speak explore it with you.
Here's one you might try. Go into the photographer's studio in your neighborhood and ask the man if you can buy the pictures of the other people. Say, how much for that heavy-set couple in the window? Or just walk up to someone on the street and say, pardon me, I have nothing to say.
I can do a parody of stand-up, and I can get up there and do bad observational comedy. You ever notice you take a cup of coffee and a cup of hot coffee and leave it out for a long time, it gets real cool? Or you ever notice, you make your bed in the morning and you come home and it's still made, bad, parody of observational comedy, but no one laughs at that.
I go out there and I have good jokes to tell. Just came from a pleasure trip. Took my mother-in-law to the airport. My mother-in-law was in the Olympics. She was a javelin catcher. I said, my house is your house. Last week she sold it. These are all jokes that work,
I sure do.
Or just go running into any quiet little shop on a Sunday morning and say, "Are you open on Thursdays?"
I know how tough it is for comedians. You hear them all through life. You hear them talking about new material, jokes, this and that. And I know how many people use writers on the side, and I never have, and I'm just very proud of that. And I'm proud that I was able to put a little humanity and intelligence in the humor. I think it shows. I know it does, and I'm glad it can still be funny.
Go into a gun store, buy a gun, then buy some ammunition, then ask them if they have any ski masks.
Every game, I gotta wear all this stuff to protect my body. But I just slip into these to protect my feet. The pump from Reebok. Hey, I switched to the pump for support, protection, and a custom fit. Which means Boomer knows something that Bo don't know. Pump up and air out.
Switch to the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out.
Home pregnancy tests, I love those. If you're pregnant, a ring will appear. Now, why is that exactly? All sperm, join hands.
The reviews are good. And from the Toronto press, that's like, hey. They're like, they like to slice anything. Mother Teresa got a bad review when she came to this.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That's the same outfit, you know. She never cracks a smile. They tore her up.
People have to like burst into flames spontaneously on the sidewalk before they go.
Yeah.
What slot A? It's a groove A.
Cars, it was in the billions.
Comedy was the only thing I could do by myself. Because before, when I used to play in bands, it was trying to get four other guys to agree with you, and I always wanted to fool around. You know, like I'd be playing the drums, and you know, I'd hit the floor tom-tom, but I'd go down with my head, so it would look like I was hitting the drums with my head, you know, doing jokes and doing rim shots and stuff. And the other guys in the band were going, "Come on, we're demigods. You're supposed to worship us. You can't be funny. Stop. Grow your hair too." I don't think it's gonna hurt my career. Actually, I didn't have the hair for rock and roll, because when I let my hair go out, it turns into a big afro. And it's just like,
Face it, some guys became stand-up comics because they go, I don't have to work with anybody else. All I do is give me the mic. The crowd's over that side. I'm on this side. It's very clear. I control everything. I run the show, and that's that.
Like, say a guy breaks up with a woman, you know? She's in a lot of pain, but she'll tell her friends, have a good cry, do some shopping, eat a pint of Haagen-Dazs. He's history. See, most guys, a woman breaks up with a guy, he'll spend a week denying he even misses her. End of the week, he finds himself chasing small animals with a weed eater. She said she'd always love me.
You know what you could do sometimes just for a great joke? What you do is you get like a bottle of beer and you just pour it all over yourself, and like liquor and everything, just pour it all over yourself, and then get in the cab, like, you know, just like be swerving and like you're real drunk. When the cops pull you over, you just get out and go, "Come on, give me the breathalyzer." Nothing. White line? Walk it? Sure. La, 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 la. It's great. It's a good joke. You can't get in trouble.
Stand-up is a real artist's medium in the sense of there's one guy out there and an audience, and nobody between him and them to interpret what he's saying.
Miss Imelda Marcos was supposed to be here. She's in Israel planting a shoe tree.
Everything else goes through layers of changes and is really sort of collaborative by definition. You can't shoot a film without 100 people giving you input. And if you resist their input, you're nuts.
I think that's what comedians like and hate about it. You know, because it's just so on the line. There's just no escaping it. It's just right there.
Do you ever hear your mom sing? You know what? I love when it's a pop song. You never expect them to do. You know, you hear them off in the kitchen. If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, baby, let me know. You remember somebody like Petula Clark? I heard a song of hers the other day. Do you remember this one? Don't sleep in the subway, darling. Don't stand in the pouring rain. And I'm thinking to myself, what kind of guys is she going out with? She's got to tell them these things, you know, don't wash your face with Clorox. Ooh, and hey, don't shave with a Ginsu knife.
I love that feeling of, well, we're all out here on this high wire, you know.
And let music set you free.
I mean, that's the deepest fear I think any comedian has. Someone is going to say, you are a stupid moron, why don't you go home? You don't belong there or anywhere else.
Slowly, gently.
Whatever happened to the diaphragm? Do they even make the thing anymore? I know I got my diaphragm in the same drawer as my 8-tracks.
I think stand-up is always like the bottom line. Like someone can have a hit TV show, but it's like, yeah, I'd like to see him do like 5 minutes, you know? Yeah, how they would do it at a place like this. And it's always like the great equalizer.
Each night you come out and you get to do it in front of an audience, and it either works or it doesn't work, and you go home and you go to sleep and you've done your job for the day. It isn't pending an opening weekend box office. It's not pending in Nielsen ratings. It's not, you know what I mean? There's nothing that you have to wait to hear from whether it worked or not. Each night you go to bed knowing it worked or it didn't work.
Well, this is it. It's all over now, and it's been an unbelievable couple of days here in Toronto. Toronto? Or Toronto? Whatever. It's been amazing. Out there is the city. Over there is the airport. On to another gate.
This is the most annoying thing that you could do in a cab. It's the most annoying sound. You all right, man? You okay?
No more fooling around. Now we're going to do it for real. No more comedy.
It would be good if somebody came home drunk at this hour and was like, "Hi, you're drunk, aren't you? Yes, I'm going to come out of the TV and kill you."
What now? You follow me to Global News? Now what do you want? I'm eating pizza.
Now, see, now everybody in Canada will know my credit card number. These guys are filming it.
Get out of my life.
I'll get like the telephone company calling you. I had about $3 million worth of phone calls today. You've seen a lot of people in Canada.
Guys, I'm feeling tense or something. I don't know. Maybe you have a fashion magazine or something? I just want to go and take some of the edge off.
Again with the cameras?
Again with the, yeah. Well, you're gonna
Oh, enough with the cameras!
Gee, you spend all that money for a steady cam and then it doesn't stay steady trying to film people.
No, but it's your problem.
Hey, this is not to be on camera.
Well, they hear us go get into another room.
With the that camera out of here.
Is this going to be called the making of comedy?
This is going to be called Inside Carol Maker.
Zoom in real close if you feel like. How you doing?
Oh, you again? You guys never give up, do you? Huh? All night long you follow me. Last night I woke up and I swear I heard a zoom. I swear in the middle of the night it was like...
What is this? The Money movie? What?
The Sutton Place Hotel is proud to be the official hotel of the 1991 Molson Canadian Comedy Relief Festival. Call 1-800-268-3790.
Not my car.